right, welcome back to Head Kick Audio. I know it's been a minute, but we're bringing it back special. I got Kelvin Bowen, who competes at RUF 55 over at the Celebrity Theater in downtown Phoenix, Arizona, which takes place August 26th. Now, usually I get the dates fucked up, okay? But today, I think I did a pretty damn good job. Now, you're coming in from the islands. You're out in Hawaii right now. So let the guests know what island you're on, who you're training with, and give them a little bit of your background so they can get introduced to you. Get
Okay.
introduced to the Heathen.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, my name is Kelvin. Kelvin Bowen. I train out here in Maui, be specific. I train with Zach Zane. I train with Christian Diaz. A lot of smaller guys you probably never really heard of. But I train in a gym called Fam Hawaii. Been there for about 3-4 years on and off. And yeah, man, I just train with a lot of just young, hungry Hawaiians. Love to fight, honestly. Not really many big names like I'm sure my opponent trains with, but I don't really have any easy rounds. Everybody's scrappy, really low key. We all just pull up, we just work hard, and that's that. We just put in our honest work and try to get better every day.
Well, I've never been one to like put a lot of fire, steam, or whatever you want to call it on coming from a big camp. Yes, they might have things that you don't have at a smaller gym, but I think fighting is more primal and more on the individual than it is on their surroundings. That's not saying that certain things can't help, but I think that burning desire to fight, that creates the abilities, in my opinion. So I don't think necessarily that anyone is at an advantage or a disadvantage. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I've actually cornered against UFC fighters. Like we've won, and I fought a guy from a really big gym, and I lost. That was kind of a shitty matchup, but it does have its benefits. But at the end of the day, it's you stepping in the cage. You're fighting the individual, not necessarily the gym. But like I said, it does help though. In certain ways, and I'm sure it may hinder you too, because you may not get as much individual attention as someone in a small gym would. But regardless, it's just you stepping in there. So that's that. I don't really worry about where people train or who they train with. It's mainly just what I'm going to do when I get in there for real.
All right, and then what brought you to Maui and the islands? What brought you out there?
Man, I just kind of just got tired of the fast life in Atlanta, man. Just way too many people. Actually, didn't even plan on living here. I kind of just want to come out here for a little bit, just kind of cruise. I actually kind of caught wind of the fighting scene, not really with any intent on competing out here. I just wanted, to see what it was about because Hawaii is known for just fighting. You hear about Max Holloway, and really just the fight culture is what kind of kept me in. I met a lot of the fighters. I met promoters. I met a lot of coaches, and 6 months turned into a year turned into 2, 3, 4. Now it's been like 7 years. So and they said an island like it either pulls you in or rejects you. There's a weird energy out here, and the island just accepted me. I got family out here for life. My girlfriend's out here. I couldn't imagine living anywhere else now. I'm addicted to the sun. We got summer year round, so it's just. I'm from the south too, so it's like I kind of wanted to live somewhere else. I wanted to kind of extend my arms, going somewhere else, but also somewhere similar. So I still feel like I'm in the south sometimes. Everybody's real nice and weather's good. So yeah, that's how I ended up out here, man. Just the people and the weather and the fighting scene.
Well, those are three things that are super important, at least, to me, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Fighting is such a huge part of people like us, right? It's not just something, it's not like, there's guys that never, played football or basketball in their life, but they're huge fans. This is something that we like engulfs our life. We engulf our lives in, you know what I mean? Whether,
100%.
we compete, commentate, hold the towel. I mean, it doesn't matter. This is something that we live and breathe. So definitely understand that. And then the people, that's also just it's more important, as a matter of fact. The people you
Hmm.
surround yourself with is kind of what makes you who you are. You know what I mean? So you're just as good a person as the circle you hold. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's
100%.
some, like, wax on, wax off shit in there. But I've never been a Miyagi type, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, man.
you know, that's super important. Now the weather, that kind of throws me for a loop. You said you enjoy the hot weather?
I enjoy it, man. I mean, it's because I actually been to Phoenix before, and it's not like that kind of heat. You know, we got a
Okay.
different kind of heat out here. Because y'all's is more, it's like that dry heat, isn't it? Like it's like it tripped me out how fucking hot it was when the sun was down out there. It was like 9 o'clock and it was still hot as fuck. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. So like, yeah, it's not like that here. You know, the temperature does kind of cool down at night. And, we got mountains out here too. So like, once you kind of go up in the mountains, it actually gets cooler. It becomes like 50 degrees. But we're on like a steady, like 80-degree temp out here. It'll go 90 sometimes, but never like in the hundreds like you guys. Like we don't deal with y'all's like one step away from hell type heat. Kind of
You got to be
comfortable over
extra
here.
special to live out here in the West for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
All right.
Rattlesnakes and
So
shit.
I'm going to ask you probably something you get asked a lot, but if I was living in Hawaii, I would probably try my hand at surfing. You ever give that a shot?
Man, I tried surfing one time about 5 years ago, and when I fell off my board, I landed on a sea urchin. I don't know if you know what those look like. These little spiky motherfuckers, man. Little. I don't want to give
Yeah.
a whole description on them, but they're terrible, bro. It's one of the worst things that can happen when you're out there, besides getting like ate by a shark or some shit. But it's just, yeah, man. I got stabbed the fuck up in my foot. Never stepped my
Ooh.
foot on the surfboard again, bro. Never again. That was about 5, 6 years ago. Yeah, yeah, no surfing for me, but I do like to swim a lot. I like to do like, yeah, I like to run underwater with the rocks and shit. Like I like to be out there, but no surfing, man. I'm cool on that.
So do you think that just ruined it for you, or before the urchin, you just weren't having a good time?
Oh yeah, the urchin definitely fucked it up for me. It was If that didn't happen, I probably would have went back out there because it was kind of fun. Even like I didn't catch any waves, but just falling off and then just the exercise. Just the paddling. It's a really good. Surfers, they're ripped, man. Those dudes, they're
Oh, yeah.
real strong, and a lot of surfers do jujitsu, so there's kind of like a pipeline there. It helps, but yeah, not for me, man. Fuck that. The sea urchin ruined it for me. It was a little kind of a trauma. I don't even like to even when I'm out there in the water, I don't even like to really be around the rocks because that's where they live. So whenever I go
Mm.
swim, whenever I swim and I see a rock, I don't touch it at all. I just kind of avoid it because that's their habitat. So yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, they really got you.
Yeah, bro, they're some bad motherfuckers, man. You gotta watch out for those things. If you're ever in Hawaii, watch out for the sea urchins, man.
That would be a great nickname for a fighter because nobody would fuck with that guy.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, especially like a little stumpy motherfuker, one of those little, like a little flyweight that hits hard called the sea urchin. That'd be a suitable nickname.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'll let them know
Uh,
they got to see you for the copyrights, though.
oh yeah, for sure. You got to see about me first. I came up with
Yeah, they,
that.
they gotta they gotta buy that patent or whatever, however they do it. That's
Yeah.
good, man. That sucks that it ruined it for you. But at the same time, I've never been surfing, so you've done, already one thing more than I have. One other thing that you've done more than I have, which you've done several times already, is you've competed at the professional level. What does it mean to you to be a professional fighter?
um. It I kind of feel like I had to give it meaning because it's like the moment I stop working, then I'm not a professional anymore. Because you can walk around and say I'm professional, but it's like what you do every day and decisions you make is really what makes you professional. Because you got guys that'll compete one time and then they'll be done and they'll still carry that title. So yeah, I was a pro. And it's like, oh, you haven't fought in like 4 years. So it's like I'm trying to live up to that title every day. And yeah, I don't try to get caught up in the whole like I'm pro because there's some bad amateurs out here, dude. There's amateurs out here that are really, really good. And I try to humble myself, but it does mean a lot to be like a pro. There is a difference, there's a gap between pro and amateur. Like there's a reason why there's a difference. There's a split between the two. It's a different ball game. So yeah, I carry with honor, and whenever I don't want to work out, whenever I catch myself trying to pull up short, I remember like I'm a professional. I get paid to do this. My opponent gets paid to do this, and that's what it is. I just got to live up to that title.
Okay, and how did you? I mean, you said that Hawaii kind of helped, pull you into the fight game. But
Yeah,
do you have any like traditional martial arts background?
yeah. I actually kind of grew up kind of boxing a little bit. Oh, I mainly played football mostly. That's where my head was at mostly. But I kind of had boxing like in my back pocket. And
Okay.
I fought a few smokers when I was younger. And then I went to college. I played rugby a little bit, and then eventually I just dropped rugby, got back into boxing, and then 2013, yeah, that's when it was. I started doing jiu-jitsu a little bit. Kind of got frustrated because I just wanted more. Like I kind of just wanted to just learn the proper ways of fighting because I'm an athlete, so I just like to just, I love sports. I like to just learn the sport, from step one and just get better at it. But
Hmm.
fighting MMA specifically, because I liked boxing. Never really saw myself like going like the Olympics or anything, and I never really was like the best at it. There were guys around me that were like way better than me, and football was my thing, so I didn't really take it too seriously. But as I got older, I got a little smaller for football. I realized I wasn't going to NFL. Really wasn't even like the really wasn't that good on my team. Even in college. So I figured, let me I already know how to box, kind of know how to wrestle a little bit, and let me stick my foot in grappling MMA a little bit. And this is before I even came to Hawaii. So before I was already fighting before I came here. I was already training because I
Hmm.
moved out here in 2016. 2013 is when I was introduced to, you know, traditional martial arts like jiu-jitsu. I even tried karate a little bit. I kind of got obsessed with it for a little bit. I was kind of, for a minute, I was kind of sticking my foot in everything. And then when I came to Hawaii in 2016, I figured let me just like start like MMA, like actually discipline with it, not just like a little bit of boxing here, a little bit of jits here. Like let me actually like, learn how to like, clinch and work against the cage and MMA grapple and all this different stuff. Because it's not as just as simple as I can box, I can jiu-jitsu. I should be good at MMA. There's all these little things I get good at, and yeah, it actually. So me going, I never even really had any official amateur fights. Because my first fight was in Alaska, which they don't even have an amateur scene. So little did I know, I was a pro at that point. I didn't even really know much about the scene, so I figured, hell, I've been training this long anyway. Fuck it, who cares? So
Right.
I just been pro ever since, and I've had little smokers, I've been in little, I even went into little karate tournaments, I did little jujitsu matches, but I never actually had like a actual amateur MMA career. I just had little amateur fights in different sports.
Okay. Well, uh, all that to me is just money in the bank. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? When I see MMA fighters that are actively competing in singular sports like karate, jujitsu, wrestling, what have you, that's money in the bank. That extra competition that you can get in between fights is only going to make you that much better of a fighter. You know what I mean? And the fact that you said, I boxed a little bit, I did a little bit of karate, I did a little bit of jujitsu, but it kind of seems like to me that all of these facets individually weren't enough fuel for you. You needed that fuel for you. You know what I mean?
yeah. Even the boxing gloves, they're just too big for me. And then like, I was in karate, I'm getting rounds kicked by these black belts, and I'm like, I know I can take this guy down and fuck him up. Like I know I can. Even I go to jujitsu. you know, I'm in jujitsu and I'm getting fucking triangled by these little guys that I know I can beat up, and I'm like, fuck, this guy can't take me down, and I know I can knock him out. So I was like, I gotta do MMA, man. I gotta figure this out. I gotta get like my figure out what my true calling is. I know like I always felt like I was born to fight. It feels very cliche. A million fighters will say that, but that's just how I feel. And I'm pretty sure they're right. A lot of us are born to fight. Because most fighters can only fight. If you think about it, a lot of fighters can do shit else but fight. And I'm not saying I'm one of those people, but But yeah, man, I just kind of had to find my niche in this thing. I was like, what is it that I can really feel comfortable doing? And MMA is that thing. You know, I love to grapple. I love to punch. I love to kick. I just love every facet of the game. You know, I'm not a striker. I'm not a grappler. I'm just kind of just freestyle with it. I just love to fight. You know.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And there's nothing more primal that'll fight. It'll help you figure out who the hell you are.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, and within in a win or a loss, you're gonna figure out who you are. And in a draw, you know, I've had every different outcome, and you know, in my short pro career, and it's just like I've learned, you know, you feel all these different emotions, and you know, before the fight, it's like you're just like a cosmic soup of emotion, and you just like you figure out who you are by how you respond to those emotions. You know, some guys can't even make it to the fight. You know, that's just walking through the doors is a lot. That's a big step. That's why I respect all the fighters. You know, I respect
You have
all
to.
my opponents. You have to, you know, because it's hard, bro. Just even getting to the fight itself is hard. I had a fighter pull out on me 3 days before my last fight, and you know, I saw him backstage, and you know, he looked like he was just fine. He looked like he didn't look injured at all. And, you know, in my mind, I'm like, fuck, bro, like I understand where you're coming from, because like just the nerves itself is hard. Like I know he wasn't really that hurt because we're all hurt. You know, we're all
Hmm.
in there somewhat hurt. So he wasn't that bad. So, but I knew I have empathy for him because I know the emotions of a fighter, and you know he was feeling the same stuff I was feeling, but I was just better at kind of just going through it. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I already signed a contract, and yeah, you know, it was no hard feelings. I said what's up, you know, I shook his hand, and yeah, I just have the empathy for the fighters. You know, I just like to show respect, no matter what the guy's record is, pro, amateur. Even if you just train, anybody regarding the sport that takes the time to understand what we go through, I just try to have respect for them, you know.
Yeah. I think I don't know if I'm like taking it a little bit too far, but I think like that is one of the things that everybody should have on their bucket list before they die is an MMA fight. Not just
Yeah.
boxing, not just jujitsu, have an you but you have to go through the motions, right?
Oh
It
yeah.
can't just be, okay, I'm gonna tomorrow go walk into the cage. No, I want you to put in a fucking camp. I want you to do a
Hmm.
fucking weight cut. And I want it to suck. You
Oh
know what I
yeah.
mean? I want
Oh
you
yeah.
to, when you finally get to that cage, I want you to be like, holy shit, because the first thought through your fucking head is going to be, I fucking made it.
Hmm. Yeah, and I like what you said. I like how you described it as primal. Even the weight cut is primal. You know, everything about it is primal. It's just, you know, even the flight, you know, to the because you know I usually fly out of state. Even walking to the airport, packing my bags, it's all just this primal feeling of like I'm going to war. You know, it's
Right.
like you know, it's a trip. So yeah, man, just the whole experience, the camp, you know, just feel like you want to quit, you know, like you're about to die, because those are the hardest parts of the fighters in camp, you know, or they should be at least. So so yeah, man, it's I wouldn't advise it to everybody because I know we're built different, but yeah, dude, I feel like I feel like it's one of those things that most people should do is get in a fight, you know, if not in a cage, at least spar or something, dude. Like, bro,
You know what? If Elon Musk was serious about this whole fucking, fighting the Zucker or whatever the hell, I think he should make it like just in order to be on Twitter, you have to compete in at least one fight just so that more people can do it. You know
yeah,
what I
oh yeah,
mean?
for sure,
Make it
for sure.
mandatory. Mandate that. Mandate that.
Straight
You know
up.
what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Because really, there is no feeling like it. Only a
No.
fighter knows what it's like.
And it's like a drug, basically, at the end of the day, because it's like, you know, before the fight, you're like, fuck, you know, I've felt emotions like, damn, why am I even here? Like, I've even heard like Donald Cerrone say at GSP, they all say like, the greats will say like they have these demons in their mind that tell them like, why am I even here? But we still do it every day. And it's like, I've grown to ignore those voices because the addiction of being in there and fighting it outweighs that like tenfold. Like there's nothing like getting in there and seeing your opponent and thinking, oh wow, this is what I've been working for 6, 7 weeks. Like this guy's ready to kill me. I'm ready to kill him. Like there's and I don't know. It sounds psychopathic in a sense to even hear myself say that, but that just is what it is. That's just what I'm into. So
Well, I'll tell you
that's
this
that.
right now. That is, you're not the only person to like tell me how they think it sounds, right? Like, oh, that sounds a little wild, me saying it out loud. But, it is what it is. It comes
Yeah.
with the territory. We're all a little messed up in the head, or everybody else is.
Mhm.
Because I'm saying it should be mandatory. You know what I mean? You should not be allowed to drink, to smoke, to buy porn. I mean, you want to talk about being a quote unquote adult? Get your ass in a cage fight. Then you can go buy your cigarettes and get your fucking whiskey.
Hey, the direction this country is heading to, I don't think that'd be a bad idea. Like, I think that might actually help where we're going. So, I mean, we could try it. If I write a couple letters, let's see what's up. Maybe we can start a petition or something.
Maybe I'll just get on Twitter and just hashtag mandate MMA. You know what I mean? Just
Oh
fucking mandate
shit.
it.
Hey, I've seen I've seen worse shit get mandated, so I think it's worth a try. you know?
Right. For sure. All right. So Heathen, where does that come from?
Heathen, man. Honestly, I just feel like I'm a gangster in the octagon, and that's just that. And it kind of, I'm not really a religious person,
Hmm.
and it's not really where I'm coming from, but it kind of helps me wear that more because it kind of makes it's like an alter ego I tap into because I used to as an athlete because you got fighters who are just athletic. You got guys who are kind of transferring in from the sports, whether they're wrestlers, whether they're football players. And I was one of those guys at first. I was kind of just like, I'm just gonna be strong and physical. I just wanted to just do things the athletic way. And I learned there's a difference between the athletic fighters and the savage fighters. The guys who really got to fuck you up. And a lot of guys are trying to compete. And I learned in my first fight. I fought a veteran, and he taught me like there's a difference between competing and just trying to fucking kill the guy. So that's when I realized like, okay, I gotta change my ways. And I just changed how I train. I changed how I spar. Not that I was trying to like kill my training partners, but I just kind of put the switch in my head, and that's the alter ego I tap into because essentially that's what your nickname is. Your alter ego.
Okay. Uh, First spin I've heard being put that way, but I dig it and I get it. You know what I mean? Because again, your your personality is only amplified in the cage. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's only amplified. So if you're very outspoken, if you're very whatever type of person you are, it's going to translate into your fighting style. Now, of course, you have your guys that are, maybe a little bit quiet, maybe a little bit more reserved, so, your Robbie Lawlers of the world that don't really say much, and then they'll fucking knock your head into the fucking third row. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that there's any exceptions to the rule, but definitely for sure your personality is amplified. You know what I mean?
Most
So
definitely. Most
I can
definitely.
see the nickname playing into that alter ego a lot, because really your quote unquote alter ego is just the second side of yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And it's just also just comes from fighting. It's a lonely, dark sport. That's just I've kind of accepted that. I have my teammates and I have the people who help me cut weight and my coaches, but essentially, it's just me coming to peace with the being alone, being in darkness. Because back in the day, if you were a heathen, you were exiled. If you were a heathen, is one with no religion. One with no God. So I'm not trying to exaggerate that to an extent, I guess, but that's just how I feel as a fighter. I just feel like a heathen in there. I feel lawless in a sense.
Well, it's definitely something that I can't wait to see you tap into, my friend. I'm very excited. I know Louis Abushar pretty well. He's from here. You know what I mean? Actually, I believe he might be from where I am. I think he used to live here in Tucson, Arizona. That's where I'm born and raised here. But
Okay.
um, very, very tough guy. How do you, without giving away like game plans and shit like that, you know what I mean? What do you think of him as an opponent, and what does he do well that we got to keep an eye on?
I think he's really good. I think he's pretty athletic. Obviously, he's physically gifted with his height. He's really good at dictating his range. he's got a good front kick, got a good jab, got a good check hook, and yeah, I mean, I just think he's an exceptional fighter. Nothing that really nothing that I don't think I'm like prepared for, nothing that I can't get ready for. I don't think he's like anywhere out of my league. But yeah, I just think he's an exceptional fighter. He's an exceptional striker. Never really seen him grapple too much, but coming from his camp, I'm sure he can grapple. Yeah, that's pretty much how I see him.
Okay, and then on August 26th, I got the date correct again. I'm very proud of myself. But on August 26th, how do you see you getting your hand raised, my man?
Making it ugly, man. I'm gonna make it pretty ugly, and without giving away too much. It's not. I'm sure he's used to guys because he's fought. No disrespect to his opponents, but he's never fought anybody like me. And they let him sit there and dictate his range. Guys kind of get scared and they panic shoot on him, and I think his physical presence makes guys do stupid things. And I've been in there with vets already, so I'm not mentally, I'm 2-1-1 on my record, but mentally that's not really me as a fighter. I'm a lot more seasoned than that because I've done other competitions and other sports. But yeah, I feel like a lot of his opponents kind of scared of him. But yeah, I'm not scared of him. I plan to make it ugly. I plan to make it a shitty night for him. And yeah, I plan on getting my hand raised. The whole cliche shit like every other fighter says.
Right on. And then I just got one more question for you, which is my favorite question. On August 26th, after you get your hand raised and Dave Velvet announces you as the winner of what I'm assuming is the main event of RUF 55, unless you can confirm, are we main eventing?
I have no clue. I haven't seen the lineup, but he seems like a pretty popular guy the more I dig into the card. So I'm pretty sure they would give him a main event spot. So that's kind of what I'm saying. But there's another popular guy on there too. He's making his I can't get the name of him right now, but I know he's a brother. He's a black guy like me, but he's pretty popular too. So it's either my fight or his that's on the main event.
Okay, so you got Luwe and Olim. So those are the two guys that are the most popping.
Yeah, I think it was that guy. Yeah, Muhammad. That's what I've seen on the card. Muhammad is his name.
Okay. Well, anyway, back to the question. After Dave Velvet announces you as the winner, I want to know how you are going to celebrate with your victory meal.
My victory meal, man. I don't know, man. I mean, what y'all got out there in Phoenix? Y'all got Church's chicken. That's what I love. That tripped me out. Y'all have so many Church's chickens. I thought that was a down south thing. And I went out there to Phoenix, and I was like, damn, okay. So I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna get a 5-piece strip. I'll probably get three honey biscuits, some fries, and a sweet tea. Y'all got good food out there in Phoenix, so I'm looking forward to that victory meal for sure.
You don't fuck with the okra?
I like okra a little bit, but I like the homemade okra. That store okra, that shit is frozen. It's kind of weird, man. I can tell you, I'm kind of bougie when it comes to soul food. So.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
The fried okra over at Church's Chicken used to be the only okra I would ever touch.
Really? Yeah, man. I wish if you're ever down south, give me a holler, man. I'll hook you up with my family. I'll give you some good okra.
Now we're talking. The only okra I've had since that I could stand is my wife. Pretty much anything the woman makes. I mean, she touches it and it's fucking, everything she touches turns to gold. You know what I mean?
Man, that's how my girl is too, man. Yeah,
bro, I tell you what.
I'm happy for you, brother. I'm in the same boat. My girl, I'm going home right after this. She's gonna. I mean, not cutting weight, but I'm watching my weight now. But even when I'm like eating healthy, she makes her little meals where she doesn't, put too much in it. But does the job every time, man. Whether it's fat boy food or in camp food, she does her thing.
Yeah, she did. Tonight she did like chicken, collard greens, and rice, and it was like in like a soup form. I can't explain it.
Hey.
But bro, I hate rice, and I don't think, to my knowledge, I've ever had collard greens. Maybe when I was drunk a time or two, maybe. But this shit, was so good. I shit you not. It was so good.
I'm a collard green guy, man. I got a good recipe for some myself, actually, man. We've got a recipe that's been forming my family for a while. So yeah, I actually make collard greens, bro.
Well, I'd
I'm
like
a
to have
collard green
some
connoisseur.
authentic collard greens. So maybe if you're feeling generous, you can share a recipe with your guy.
Hey, yeah, we'll talk about it, man. It's secret. I can't do it over the podcast, as this is
Oh no, we can't do it
public
like that.
viewing.
We can't do it like that. You
But
gotta,
I'll slide you a note at weigh-ins or something like that.
there
Slide
you
you a
go.
letter.
All right, my
Yeah.
man. Well, this has been an absolute blast getting to know you. I cannot wait to see you fight. Again, that's August 26th over at RUF 55. We got the Heathen. He will be in the building. He's going to look to put one on the loss column of Louis Abushar, which nobody has done to date. I look forward to watching you compete. Best of luck, safe weight cut, and I know we still got a little bit left on the camp, so make sure that you train as healthily and uninjury as possible, if that's even a word. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, bro. It's been a blast, man. Likewise.
Absolutely, because I would rather have you in that fight than a replacement. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah, for
invested
sure.
now. I'm 100% invested. I was invested when
Yeah,
them
man.
posters dropped. Damn, you look good.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, appearance is one thing, but I fight better than I look. I'll say that much, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm definitely not coming there to die like his other opponent. I'll tell you that much.
All right,
This
my
will be
man.
the hardest fight that he's had. But yeah, thank you, brother.
For sure. And I don't doubt that at all. But you have some sponsors, some training partners, some coaches, management, anybody you'd like to thank. You have as much time as you'd like.
All right. Shout out to Fam Hawaii, my gym. Sorry about that, man. My alarm just came on. But yeah,
So,
shout out to Fam Hawaii, my gym. Shout out to Fusion Fit, where I get my strength conditioning done. And yeah, shout out to my manager, Zach Zane. And yeah, that's it, man. Thank you.
yes, sir. Again, August 26th, the Heathen versus the Savage Bull. Kelvin, safe travels. We'll see you in a few short weeks. I cannot wait, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Peace.
Until next time.